Yeah, my hair. Hello, Internet. All right. Let me say good morning here to my YouTube Internet channel. Hello, good morning from beautiful Puerto Rico. I am taking a few moments here in my morning wake up routine, is what I would call it, and getting started here in the morning with a practice of things to get me focused and going forward on a most successful day. And that includes, a great breakfast, lots of water, a little bit of stretching. I'm trying to get started with a little bit of a yoga practice here, and a few moments of gratitude, thinking about my strengths and my abilities everywhere that I have been in the world. Everything that I have seen comes together and makes me the person that I am today. And so to that, I am kicking it off this morning with, first, let me get to the business part of this, the website, joywestpress.com. I also have a page for the book, the Best Life Remix Kit.com, as well as mejoratuvida.club.com. These are the projects that I had previously worked on, putting together a plan for transformation, because I know how to take things and look at the best strengths that they have, look at some of the weaknesses of things that could be improved, and adjust a few things, tweak it up a little bit to make things better. That's what I specialize in doing. That's where I get my energy from. And so the pony back here is something that I picked up off the street. I've started kind of recycling and upcycling art as to what kind of art am I really doing here at the Oasis de Artes, because I'm a creativity teacher. I'm teaching how to think in creative ways and practice as you preach, I guess is what this is about. And so as I was getting this started in the morning, looking at my resources, looking at some of the things that I have gathered and brought into my world so that I can then nourish my creative spirit and then turn it around and focus it on projects and things to improve the world. So that's kind of the steps of how this works. And I was gifted a set of books and have decided to use them as the real basis for the Oasis de Artes, and kind of going through them weekly, randomly picking a book and sort of looking at the research or looking at the information, using it as research. These books were created or printed back in the late 1960s, and they are a beautiful collection of artistic photographs. I want to make sure I get a good picture here. And stories of artwork back, now this is 60 years later. This particular one is about a German emperor back in the years of 1200. So 800 years ago, this gentleman here was one of the emperors in Sicily and of the Roman Empire. He was of German descent in the family and the history back of the Middle Ages, as I'm reading this story. And fascinating, he built sanctuaries or getaways right here, the crown one here, of places for people to come and reflect out in nature. They were protected little grottos for people to sit in and enjoy nature, contemplate. Here's one on a lake. There's another one's kind of seen from the air. And how interesting that is to me, because that's exactly right here what I'm doing right here 825 years later. And so this magic idea and the pattern that's up in here, I really like that pattern and might be using it here in my inspiration for what I'm going to be painting and working on here. And in the same way here on these next pages, fascinating pictures of falconry and how they used the birds and kept the birds as part of their culture and their history and the falconry. which is, again, connecting this to me today. I'm here and I'm looking at the birds and I hear a bird. I don't know what it is. I'm trying to figure it out. And so it just comes full circle to me. And I just really find these kinds of connections nourishing and encouraging my mental functioning, my creativity, my imagination, my dreams, And so, yeah, I can imagine. In fact, I'm going to go back into my ginger sanctuary and think and kind of absorb that. 825 years of people recognizing the power and the influence of just being able to sit and think in nature. Like, how perfect is that? So I want to invite you, come see me here at the Oasis de Artes in Camuy, Puerto Rico. I'm learning how to say it. I'm working on my Spanish. I need help locally. I'm looking for the 20-year-olds, my former high school students that I want to be friends with. I want to invite you over here. I want you to spend time getting creative with your imagination. I want us to be able to dream the world that we want it to be and then make it happen. And so that's what I do here in my Oasis de Artes. That's what I've always done with the Joy West Press. That's what I did for years when I was teaching high school and middle school, really helping people tap into their strengths, their ideas, their imaginations, and whatever that might be, helping them figure out how to make that work. Because it's a process and you go through the steps and it's like following a recipe. So if you can follow a recipe, then why not follow this recipe for like your best life? Because everybody should be having their best life. So I that's just my good morning. Hello. I've been on here now for a few minutes. I'm just trying to get the energy started over here in Camuy, Puerto Rico. We've had some difficulties these years, I understand, and the world is in a little bit of chaos at the moment, in my opinion, which is why the arts are so important. This is the time for anybody to come and get their hands dirty, either with some paint or with some clay and make a statue or something, or some thread and embroider a pattern onto a scarf, all sorts of things that you can do to get the energy out of you and transform it into something that is meaningful and pretty and has value and expresses your emotions. That's what art does. And so I'm getting kind of excited about this. This has been the preview, the background for it. I'm getting the invitations ready. As soon as I get the go-ahead from the city, we're going to turn this on full force. I'm still hoping for April 1st, so I went ahead and opened the reservation calendar over there at joywestpress.com/shop. And either the morning session, I'm calling La Fuente, which is the source in the morning, those types of arts, language arts, digital media, mathematics, and culinary for lunch. And then switching to the afternoon session of the Brotar, which is the visual arts, both fine and applied, the decorative arts, and performing arts at the end of the day, because that should be showtime and ways to make money. So another underlying piece of this is that when your creativity is going, we're going to talk about making money and how you can get your ideas into your bank account. So that's another thing, another part of this is not only thinking it, but making it and selling it, and how to have creativity improving your life. So that's my story. Good morning. Hope you have a great day. When I get done with my work here this morning, I'm going to be working on this in the afternoon. So that's my plan in the morning: digital arts, language arts, math, the focus on the source, the real nitty gritty stuff. And then in the afternoon, I'm flipping it over to the much more fun, the visual, I think, in a lot of ways, the visual arts, the decorative arts, the performing arts. That's showtime. That's what YouTube's about. So That's my story. Come see me, joywestpress.com. Subscribe, follow along. I should have said that about 5 minutes ago, but you got the story. I'm checking my timer up there, and I've got to go get busy. I have website work to do. Gotta go. Have a great day. Happy Monday. And add some art into your life. Add your creativity, your imagination. Have some fun. All right, gotta go. Bye.